But yeah, plan now, get home and freaking eat. Honestly, that's I'm getting a little repetitive saying it every time, because that's really the main thing. I mean, plus post-workout, I'm not one to say you're gonna freak about not getting in your your daily whatever, or your anabolic window of meals, but it would make sense, right? As soon as you finish training and stressing out your system, you're gonna want to basically refuel, at least to get some of the glycogen that you burned off back in, to the point where you can actually kind of jump the recovery process. I can almost guarantee if I ate nothing after a workout, went to bed, and then woke up the next day, versus alternate reality where I had a big ass meal, I'm gonna feel way better and more energized after getting that extra food in. Now some guys might say, oh well, if you sleep with an empty stomach, you actually get more restful because your body's not trying to deal with digestion, which I could see that. Haven't really dabbled, but I've gone to bed with a full stomach pretty consistently. Not every night, but enough where I kind of know I still feel like I sleep pretty good. I'm not getting a sleep score or like doing a damn sleep study after going to sleep with an empty stomach versus after eating a big meal, so it's not like I've got the quantitative data to back it up. But look, man, I think the problem with most is well, either eating too much and you can't chill out, like if you've got a hard time dieting, but I think more people have a problem just eating enough food to really grow. And in that case, the less obstacles you can give yourself to chowing down, the better. So trying to convince yourself that eating more food is going to mess with your sleep and that's going to cut into your recovery, that's a weird backwards roundabout way of saying I don't want to grow, and I really don't want to eat right now, so I'm not gonna. It's very easy to make those compromises in your mind. Whatever you can kind of imagine, it's like, oh well, I'm not I can't even think of it, because I try not to do any, so I try not to let them even come into my head. But yeah, there's a lot of it's much easier to just sit around and chill than it is to kind of get after something where you don't get the reward until later on down the line. But I think we all, at our core, we all know this. That's not new, groundbreaking information, but still worth kind of thinking about sometimes, right? It's like if you take everything for granted and then not really give a little bit of thought to the enjoyment of it, or like understanding, like, yeah, I guess if I do lock in, then I'll be in a different position next year. Because just think about it. If you could go back in time and and tell yourself, okay, do all this stuff, then you get to enjoy it now, right? You probably would. You tell them to do all sorts of crazy shit. That's almost the theme of every time travel movie. The guy always wants to go back and tell himself in the past what he should have done. We're in the same situation. You don't have yourself from the future coming to tell you to do it, because you already know that you should be doing it right now, right? So I guess it's just I usually like to think about it as though, even though it's just you're kind of responsible for your future self, your future self as well. So, to do anything that could jeopardize you in the future, you wouldn't, unless you're a total sleazeball, you wouldn't totally screw somebody over that you know. In what world would it make sense to screw yourself over by slacking, and then you're going to have to deal with those consequences later on? And there will be no rebound, right? So whether or not you're in the girlfriend broke up with you trope, or if you're in the I gotta show them and get jacked kind of storyline, whichever one resonates with you the most, play into it and make something happen. I can't tell you how many people just, the days are on repeat, right? It's whatever their normal schedule is, come home and chill, repeat, and that's the end of it, right? And that's not something that really scales very well, right? It's not particularly uncomfortable, but it does not scale, right? The more things you can get into that have kind of what's the opposite of diminishing returns? Like almost a kind of accrue interest the more you work on them. Those are the things that, at least having a couple, are going to be extra worth freaking while.